Hi guys, before we start, I have a request. I can see that 99% of you are not subscribed, and subscribing would help me a lot. I'm really close to 500 subscribers, and if we can achieve that, it would make me really happy. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. The Hand of God, 1986. On June 22, 1986, the stage was set for a high-stakes quarterfinal match in the FIFA World Cup as Argentina faced England at the iconic Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. The atmosphere was electric, charged not only by the excitement of the game, but also by the lingering tensions from the recent Falklands War, which had intensified national pride and animosity between the two countries. As the match progressed into the second half, with the score still 0-0, the tension reached its peak. In a pivotal moment that would be etched into football history, Diego Maradona found himself at the center of controversy. The play began when England's Steve Hodge attempted to clear the ball from his own half. The ball soared high into the air, and Maradona, despite being significantly shorter than England's goalkeeper Peter Shilton, leaped to challenge him. In a split second, Maradona used his left hand to punch the ball into the net. The move was quick and deft. While Shilton reached for it with his hands, Maradona's hand made contact first. As he celebrated, English players immediately protested, insisting that he had handled the ball. Their cries echoed through the stadium as they surrounded referee Ali Benassour, demanding that he disallow the goal. However, Benassour, who had not seen the handball clearly and was backed by his linesman Bogdan Dachev, allowed the goal to stand. The crowd erupted in mixed reactions. Argentinian fans cheered wildly, while English supporters were left in disbelief and outrage. Maradona later famously described this moment as being scored a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God, encapsulating both his audacity and the controversy surrounding it. Just minutes later, Maradona would further cement his legacy by scoring what would be dubbed the goal of the century. He dribbled past 5 English defenders in a breathtaking solo run before slotting the ball past Shilton into an empty net. Argentina went on to win 2-1 and eventually lifted the World Cup trophy. The Hand of God. Incident ignited debates about sportsmanship and officiating standards that continue to resonate in football today, making it one of the most iconic and controversial moments in sports history. The FIFA corruption scandal. In May 2015, the FIFA corruption scandal came to light when Swiss authorities arrested 7 high-ranking FIFA officials in Zurich at the request of the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ. The DOJ and FBI had been conducting a 3-year investigation, uncovering a vast network of corruption within FIFA. The charges involved 14 individuals, including senior officials, who were accused of crimes such as racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering. The scandal centered around $150 million in bribes tied to media and marketing rights for major tournaments, including World Cups. The investigation revealed widespread bribery in the bidding processes for the 2010 World Cup in South Africa and the 2018 and 2022 World Cups, awarded to Russia and Qatar, respectively. The legitimacy of these bids was questioned, with allegations that votes had been bought to secure hosting rights. This led to renewed scrutiny of how FIFA operated, exposing deeper governance issues. Following the arrests, FIFA President Sepp Blatter, who had just been re-elected for a 5th term, resigned amid mounting global pressure. Despite denying personal involvement in the scandal, his departure marked a major turning point. Michel Platini, the UEFA president and a potential successor to Blatter, was also banned from football for 8 years due to a $2 million payment from Blatter. Numerous other officials, including FIFA vice presidents Jack Warner and Jeffrey Webb, were indicted or banned for taking bribes. The scandal extended beyond FIFA officials, involving sports marketing firms that funneled bribes in exchange for securing lucrative contracts. Several global banks were implicated for allowing these transactions, further exposing the depth of corruption in football. Major FIFA sponsors like Coca-Cola, Visa, McDonald's, and Adidas voiced their discontent and pushed for reforms, threatening to withdraw support unless FIFA cleaned up its act. FIFA responded by introducing reforms aimed at restoring credibility, such as limiting terms for officials, improving financial transparency, and establishing an independent ethics committee. However, the scandal exposed the deep-rooted corruption that had plagued FIFA for decades. Public trust in FIFA was severely damaged, and debates about the fairness of past World Cup bids and the future governance of the sport continue. The unfortunate murder of Andrés Escobar. The murder of Andrés Escobar is a tragic chapter in football history, symbolizing the harsh intersection of sports, violence, and societal turmoil in Colombia. Born on March 13, 1967, Andrés Escobar was a respected Colombian footballer, known for his defensive prowess and his nickname, the Gentleman, due to his clean, fair play and sportsmanship. He played for Atlético Nacional and was a key player for the Colombian national team, which entered the 1994 FIFA World Cup with high expectations. However, during a crucial group stage match against the United States on June 22, 1994, Escobar accidentally scored an own goal, deflecting a cross into his own net. Colombia lost 2-1, and the defeat led to their early exit from the tournament, shattering the hopes of a nation. Escobar's own goal became a focal point of blame for the country's disappointment, and the incident was widely publicized. Just 10 days later, on July 2, 1994, after a night out with friends in Medellin, Escobar's life took a devastating turn. After leaving a nightclub around 3 a.m., he was confronted by three men who taunted him about the World Cup own goal. The situation escalated when two of the men pulled out handguns and shot Escobar 6 times. Witnesses claimed the assailants mockingly shouted "goal" after each shot, as if replaying the moment of the own goal in cruel mockery. Escobar was rushed to the hospital, but died 45 minutes later. His murder shocked not only Colombia, but the global football community, highlighting the violence surrounding the sport at the time. The investigation led to the arrest of Humberto Castro Muñoz, who confessed to his involvement in the shooting. Castro was a bodyguard for Santiago Gallón, one of the men who was suspected of losing large sums of money due to Colombia's World Cup defeat. Though Castro confessed, many believed he took the fall for others. He was sentenced, but later released after serving just 11 years. The Gallón brothers, associated with organized crime and drug trafficking, were suspected to be involved, but were never formally charged due to lack of evidence. Escobar's funeral saw over 120,000 mourners, reflecting the deep sorrow and respect felt for him across the nation. His death also intensified discussions about the violence that plagued Colombia during that era, marked by the influence of drug cartels and widespread civil unrest. The murder of Andrés Escobar remains a haunting reminder of the darker side of sports. His story is often discussed in relation to the dangerous pressures athletes can face and the extreme consequences of violence in sports culture. The documentary, The Two Escobars, explores his life, linking his tragic death to the larger societal issues Colombia faced in the 1990s. Today, Escobar is remembered with memorials and tributes, his legacy one of talent overshadowed by a devastating loss, a symbol of how deeply sports can intersect with the challenges of a nation. The Calciopoli Scandal, which broke in 2006, shook Italian football to its core, involving top Serie A clubs. It all started when prosecutors investigating doping at Juventus uncovered phone calls between Luciano Moggi, the club's general manager, and refereeing officials. These calls revealed that Moggi was influencing referee appointments to favor Juventus. The scandal quickly expanded, implicating other clubs like AC Milan, Lazio, and Fiorentina in similar corruption. Moggi and Juventus's CEO Antonio Giraudo were at the center of the scandal, with investigations showing they had manipulated referees to gain unfair advantages. Moggi even used Swiss SIM cards to evade wiretaps. As the probe deepened, it became clear that the corruption was widespread, involving collusion between clubs and referees who complied out of fear. In July 2006, formal proceedings began, and punishments were severe. Juventus was relegated to Serie B and stripped of 2 titles, while Fiorentina and Lazio were also relegated with point deductions. AC Milan avoided relegation but faced a points penalty, sparking controversy over the fairness of the rulings. The scandal caused public outrage, and years of legal battles followed. Though Moggi's lifetime ban was upheld in 2015, many others were acquitted as charges expired. The scandal severely damaged public trust, leading to decreased attendance and disillusionment among fans. Though Juventus returned to Serie A after one season and regained its status, the shadow of Calciopoli still hangs over Italian football, serving as a cautionary tale of the lasting consequences of corruption. Adrian Mutu's drug scandal. Adrian Mutu's drug scandal at Chelsea is a notable event in football history, filled with controversy and legal battles. Mutu, a talented Romanian striker, joined Chelsea in 2003 for £15.8 million from Parma and made an immediate impact by scoring 4 goals in his first 3 games. However, his form soon declined, and his off-pitch behavior raised concerns. Under manager Jose Mourinho, Mutu missed training sessions and displayed erratic behavior, leading Chelsea to order a drug test in October 2004. On October 29, 2004, Mutu tested positive for cocaine after a test ordered by Chelsea. Initially, he denied using cocaine, claiming it was a recreational substance taken to enhance his sex life. However, under pressure, including from the Professional Footballers Association, PFA, he admitted to drug use and declined further testing of his B sample. The consequences were immediate. Chelsea terminated his contract for breach, and the Football Association, FA, imposed a 7-month ban and a £20,000 fine. After his dismissal, Chelsea sought compensation for damages caused by Mutu's breach of contract. The club initially demanded around £8 million, but through ongoing legal battles, the sum escalated. In 2008, FIFA ruled that Mutu owed Chelsea €17 million, around $12 million, for lost earnings and costs. Despite multiple appeals over the years, Mutu has not fully paid this amount, arguing that the sanctions were excessive. Following his ban, Mutu joined Juventus in 2005, but continued to face off-field issues. In January 2010, he tested positive for sibutramine, a banned stimulant, leading to another 9-month suspension. His career after Chelsea was marred by further doping scandals, disciplinary problems, and inconsistent performances. Mutu's time at Chelsea stands as a cautionary tale about the challenges athletes face and the consequences of poor choices. Despite his undeniable talent on the pitch, his career was overshadowed by personal struggles and substance abuse. Bobby Moore's bracelet theft accusation. In 1970, Bobby Moore, the legendary England football captain, found himself at the center of a scandal involving the alleged theft of a bracelet during the team's stay in Bogotá, Colombia. The incident occurred while the England squad was preparing for a World Cup match. After arriving in Bogotá for a layover, Moore and teammate Bobby Charlton visited a gift shop called Fuego Verde in the El Tequendama Hotel to look for a present for Charlton's wife. After browsing without making a purchase, they left the shop, only to be confronted by the shop assistant, Clara Padilla, who accused them of stealing a valuable bracelet. Initially, Moore and Charlton thought the accusation was a joke. However, the situation escalated when police arrived and arrested Moore after a new witness, Alvaro Suarez, claimed to have seen him take the bracelet through the shop window. The situation quickly became serious as Colombian police, armed with machine guns, entered the hotel, creating a tense atmosphere. Despite being questioned for hours by a judge in Bogotá, Moore maintained his innocence throughout. A reenactment of the incident was staged to clarify the conflicting accounts. During this, Padilla's story unraveled when it was revealed that she had claimed Moore slipped the bracelet into a pocket that did not exist on his blazer. The inconsistencies in her testimony raised doubts about the validity of the charges against him. As public interest grew, support for Moore surged, especially from fans who shouted "Viva Bobby" as he was transported from court. The value of the bracelet also became a point of contention. Initial reports valued it at £625, but later claims suggested it could be worth as much as £6,000. Ultimately, despite the serious accusations and the media frenzy surrounding them, Bobby Moore was exonerated. The incident not only highlighted his character, but also raised questions about corruption and misconduct within certain sectors of Colombian society at the time. Thanks for watching this video. If you still haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. Also, if you want to discuss whether these scandals are still possible in 2024, please join our Discord server.